Okay, so now we're going to talk about audio and how to adjust your audio inside your project. Well, let's look at what I've got here. I've got 3 different clips here with these actors talking. And you can see down here, you've got a light blue and a dark blue. This light blue would be your video track, and this dark blue would be your audio track. In this case, it's A1, meaning audio track 1. Well, in order to make adjustments on this, there used to be a little arrow here that would just pop this thing open so that you could see inside there. Now you have to come over here inside this little square area, not inside your timeline area, but right off to the side where you can see that little line. You can click on that and then just pull it open. I believe you can also hit Option plus like that. If you're a keyboard person, and Option minus if you want to use that to open it up. I tend to just come over here and do this, but I believe when you hit that option button, you see what that did? It just pulled all of the tracks open like that. So anyway, so when you get inside here, you can see this light blue area. That's what you call a waveform, an audio waveform. It's showing you where the speaking is, or where the audio is going up and down, and its level. I'll play and you can see what I'm talking about.
You know what I would love? Something normal. Normal? Yeah, normal. You know, like a speeding ticket.
Okay, so you can see what that is. So it's really useful to have these because you can see exactly where someone starts speaking. Like if you wanted to take a little chunk like that out, you can see exactly where they spoke. So that's why those waveforms are really nice to be able to see. Okay, so you can see there's a little white line here, right? You can click on that and you can pull it up and down. If you pull it down, it's going to make the sound lower. If you pull it up,
you know, like a speeding ticket,
it's going to bring it up.
Yep.
So how do you know when you have the right level? Well, remember, when you're editing audio, it's all about achieving the right audio level. It is not about the volume. It's about achieving the right level, and that's why you have this audio meter right over here. So what you're trying to do is get your audio, generally speaking, when people are speaking, you want your audio to be peaking between -12 and -6. So use this line here, and I'll pull it down here, and we'll see where we're at.
I would love.
Okay, so you can see that's way too low.
Normal?
So you can pull it up a little bit more.
Normal. What I would love? Something normal. Normal? Yeah, normal.
You can see there he's speaking loudly off the top, but
you know, like a speeding ticket.
okay, so something like that. That's close.
Normal? Yeah, normal. You know, like a speeding ticket.
Okay, so it's peaking around -6, -12, something like that, and that's what you want. So you could go through each one of these and make sure they're all about right. These were recorded really well, so they're already about right. So that's how you pull an entire clip's audio up and down. Now there is another way to adjust your audio if you don't like grabbing this line. If you put your playhead over the top of any given clip, if you go up here and click Audio Clip Mixer, you're going to see that there is a little mixer here with a pot on it. It's a little fader. And you can, I'm going to go back here, you can grab it.
You know what I would love?
You can pull it up and
Normal?
down.
Yeah, normal.
And you can see, I'll pull it down once, and then you can see that little line down here actually move down. So it's
You know what I would
basically
love? Something normal. Normal? Yeah, normal. You know, like a speeding ticket.
So that's how you can adjust that too. Now you can just click over to this clip, and I'll pull this one down really low. You can see that it adjusted there. Click onto here, pull that one down if you want. You can see I didn't have to double click them or anything like that. I just clicked over the top of them and clicked on this audio clip mixer, and I have instant access to the audio. If there was audio on 2, 3, and 4 tracks, then you would see that there as well. So that's kind of neat that you can just click over the top of them like that. It feels like you would need to double click it, because when you're down here and you're trying to access a piece of video up here and the effects that are on that video or whatever filters are on it, you have to double click it. But here you're actually just putting your playhead over the top of the clip. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so as we mentioned, this audio is pretty good, but sometimes you're going to find your audio is not as strong as you like it. It's good quality, it sounds good, but it's not as strong as you like it. Well, rather than pulling the line clear to the top like this and trying to just blast it as high as you can, one quick thing is to adjust what they call the gain of the audio. It's called audio gain. Let's take a piece of audio from here. This is me recording one of these tutorials, and you'll see if you watch the meter over here that my levels are a little low. Page feel. This would be an example. Okay, so you get the idea. There are different transitions that you can do. You can see I'm only peaking about -18, right? So what you want to do is adjust the gain on that. And you can either do it up here or you can do it down in your timeline, but I'm going to pull it down in the timeline because I want to show you, see how it's an audio clip with no video and I cannot click and drag it down? If you're grabbing just an audio clip, you have to go to this little squiggly audio line. Grab that and then pull that down into here and you can access it. So I'm going to pull this open. I'm going to shut this one. And I'll pull this open. And you can see that my waveforms are kind of small compared to these over here, right? These are very strong. These look a little weak. So what you can do is just right click on it and choose audio gain. When you choose that, you can see you get this little window and it says adjust gain by how many decibels. I know that 8 is about right for me on this one. Sometimes you just want 2 or 3, sometimes you might want 10 or 5, just adjust it. Now watch when I hit OK and you'll see those meters down here grow. Those waveforms grow. So now you'll see, hello. Now it's pretty good level. Here we go. And so that's one thing. You can see I don't even really need to adjust this line in there very much at all. It's just sort of brought it up to the right level. So that's one thing you can do if your audio just didn't get recorded as strongly as you wanted it. Now it's not going to be able to fix just terrible audio that's hissy or hollow or distant or noisy or something like that. But if you have good quality audio, you just need to bring the levels up a little bit. That's a good way to go about doing it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to adjust audio if you have music that you want to put underneath some sort of audio track, like people talking, as in this case. So we've got a few little tracks here where these guys are having this conversation. I'm going to go over here to songs. I'm going to find a song that I wouldn't normally pick for this, but it's available, so I'm going to put in this little jazz song. See the levels on that? That is really, really hot audio. I'm going to set an out point here. I'm going to right click on that and say adjust the audio gain, just like we did below, and I'm going to say let's bring this down about 5, shall we? And then that's a little better. So okay, so I'm going to bring this down. Again, I'm grabbing the icon here, this little audio waveform icon, and I'm going to drop this down below here in audio track 2. It's not long enough, obviously, so I'm going to hover over the end and then just stretch it out so it's the same length as our conversation here. So when you play it back, obviously, I haven't done anything yet.
You know what I would love?
Obviously, that music is way, way, way too hot. So let's try this a couple of ways. Let's just adjust it here using our line once. We're just going to pull that down, let's say to like -9 or 10.
You know what I would love? Something normal.
Still too loud, right? This time let's come up here and adjust it up here. We'll pull, it's in audio track 2, so I'm going to pull this down just a little bit more.
Normal? Yeah, normal. You know, like a speeding ticket or noise complaint.
Still a little bit too loud, so I'm going to come back over here. And this time I'm going to adjust it on the fly. I'm not even going to hit stop. I'm just going to adjust it up and down as they're talking and then try to find a good level like that.
You know what I would love? Something normal. Normal? Yeah, normal. You know, like a speeding ticket, or noise complaint, or a speeding ticket, or like some punk kid with a fake ID at the stop and save. Cat caught in a tree? Cat caught in a tree. I would kill for a cat in a tree. It's gotta be a non-re-entering cat, though. Good point.
Okay, so you can see that's a pretty cool way to adjust your audio on the fly like that when you're wanting to adjust audio through there. So what happens though if you want your music to come up at one point and then come back down at another point? Well, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to pull this out here and we're going to stretch this back out. Here's the scene where they're running into the door, running through the door.
You know what I would love?
Okay, so it might be kind of nice to have that music up louder as they're running through the door, right? And then bring it down once they start talking. Because you're here. And really, the audio could be higher during that point because you're using it to kind of set the mood. Again, I wouldn't normally use this jazz song for this. But to do that, what you want to do is bring your level back up. So we're going to bring it back up to the 0 point here, or roughly there. Too hot, bring it down a little bit. How's that? So it's bouncing between 12 and negative 12, negative 6. So that's a good level for that to start off, right? So let's listen to that.
You know what I would love?
Okay, so right there is where we want it to dip down so it goes underneath their voices, right? So what you're going to do is come over here to your toolbar. Now normally you're using this top tool. This is your selection tool, V on the shortcut on the keyboard. But if you go down here, you'll see one that's somewhat similar to the V tool, but it's called the pen tool, and it's pointing down and to the left. Shortcut is P on your keyboard if you're a keyboard shortcut person. Now what we're going to do is use this pen tool to put a couple of dots on this music track here. We're going to put one right here, right before they start talking in audio track 1, and then put one back here. And I'm also going to tap the plus to zoom down on that just a little bit more so you can see. So all you have to do now is take that little dot and just pull it down a little bit to decrease the audio level where they're speaking. And you can see it's like a rubber band. It held at this point, and now it's just going to pull it down below underneath that audio like that.
You know what I would love? Something normal.
Okay, so that...
Normal? Yeah.
We'll keep down. We'll try just a little bit more maybe.
Normal.
Okay, so that pulled it down. So now this is what it sounds like.
You know what I would love? Something normal. Normal? Yeah, normal.
So anyway, that's how you can adjust your audio by just using your pen tool to put in these little dots. Now you can put these as all over the place if you wanted to, and you could bring these up and down and it would just do whatever you wanted to. But
something normal. Normal.
Obviously that's not what you want to do, but you can see what I'm talking about. It's very easy to put those on. Now here, where his voice gets low, he says something normal. I think I'm going to bring
something normal. Normal?
So here, they're obviously speaking a little bit lower. So you could pull these guys up a little bit and adjust them just a little bit.
Something normal. Normal? Yeah, normal.
So there's a lot of little things you can do with audio like that to adjust them and make them sound a little bit more even. If someone turned away from a mic slightly or something like that, you can do a lot of adjustments there. So that's basically what you need to know about audio adjustments. Using your basic pen tool. And remember, once you're done editing with your pen tool, making adjustments to your audio, be sure you go back and grab your main selection tool, the V tool, because if you've got this pen tool, you can't do any regular editing with it. All you can do is put these dots on your audio adjustment line. So be sure you go back and get your main editing tool when you're done doing that. So that's a little bit about audio. You're going to find that you spend a lot of time adjusting audio. We always say that audio is 50% of a good video. So really take the time to learn audio. Use your line, practice with a line, practice with your audio clip mixer up here. See what you like best, develop your own style, whatever you like. That's the way you should do it, whatever's easiest for you. And learn about your VU meter and understanding levels and not your volume. Two completely different things. Okay, that's how you do audio adjustments.